RedShift here, doing my part to shift perceptions out of the pink and into the red. Okay, so today's video is about objectification. Today women act like men objectify them, but this is an unfair criticism of men. The objectification of women that men engage in is biologically motivated, just like hypergamy is biologically motivated. But just because men are attracted to beauty and women are attracted to powerful men does not mean that there is no choice involved. Women can feel hypergamist instincts but choose to not indulge in them. Men can feel desire to cheat with a beautiful woman who comes on to him because he's been with his girlfriend for several years and she no longer turns him on like she did in the beginning, which is natural and normal. Like the saying says, for every beautiful woman, there's a guy who's tired of fucking her. But just because he feels attraction toward another woman, and just because his libido is high, these two things together do not excuse cheating, because he can still choose to not indulge in these feelings. He can leave the room where the beautiful woman is. He can choose to not talk to her much. He can choose to go home and fuck his girlfriend. He can go home and jack off if his girlfriend won't have sex with him that night. There is no excuse for cheating, and there is no excuse for engaging in hypergamy. In other words, for dumping a man to monkey branch to a richer or otherwise more powerful man. Now, women accuse men of objectifying them, but this is unfair for another reason. If objectification of women is a bad thing, and women truly don't want it, and truly want it to end, then they could stop objectifying themselves. How do they objectify themselves? They shave their underarms, they shave their legs, they buy all kinds of products to make their hair shinier, their skin smoother, their nails more beautiful, etc. Women as a whole could stop shaving their legs and underarms. They could stop using special products for their skin and hair. They could just use normal gender-neutral soap that men use. They could just use normal gender-neutral shampoo that men use, etc. If they did, then men would still be attracted to them. Men were attracted to women before they stopped shaving their underarms in the 1910s and 1920s. Men would find it odd at first, and it would take some getting used to, but if all women stopped shaving their underarms, then it would become the new norm, and when men would learn to not mind it, and would even learn to like it. So why don't women do this? It's not because underarm hair is so repulsive. It's because some women have attractive underarm hair and other women have ugly underarm hair. Underarm hair is just like head hair. Some women have smooth, silky head hair that is gorgeous, and other women have coarse hair that's rough and not shiny and barely attractive at all. Even ugly, you might say. Some women have a lot of hair follicles per square inch on their head, which is attractive, while other women have half or a quarter of the amount of hair follicles per square inch compared to the other women who have a lot of hairs on their head. Having thick hair is attractive. Having sparse hair is unattractive. Women have continued shaving off their underarm hair because they want to have an advantage over other women. But they all do it, so the end result is that none of them have an advantage over any other woman who shaves her underarms, when it comes to that aspect of beauty. But they are happy with the situation because then they are all equal, and they aren't divided into those with attractive underarm hair and those with ugly underarm hair. It's probably why the partial shaving of the head trend is becoming more popular. I'll bet that before we start genetically engineering people so that everyone is beautiful, women will start shaving their heads. If they all take away what makes them beautiful, then none of them are pretty and none of them are ugly, at least in that aspect of beauty. And then they don't have to suffer from being divided into beautiful and ugly when it comes to that particular aspect of beauty. If all women shave their heads, then it won't matter who has beautiful, silky, smooth hair and who has coarse, rough, ugly, unruly hair. I don't think it will go so far as all women having surgery to get their breasts cut off, but who the hell knows. But the head shaving thing as the new norm among women is probably coming down the pike in the next 10 to 20 years. Who knows, maybe less. But the whole point is that women shave their underarms and legs because they want to eliminate an aspect of their body that can possibly be viewed as ugly, if they don't measure up to the beauty standards of that particular part of the body, so as to level the playing field among women. They do it to level the playing field among themselves. They do this because they don't want to be viewed as ugly by men. If women really shaved their underarms and legs for themselves and not men, then they wouldn't stop shaving during the winter, or be lax about shaving during other times of the year, only shaving once every 2 or 3 or 4 days. If women really hated underarm hair and wanted it gone for themselves, then they would shave every day, or be adopting permanent laser removal of leg and underarm hair, now that those laser hair removal machines have fairly recently become legal to be sold to the public, at least here in America. Women do all their beauty things, or ugliness removal things, for men. They want to be objectified, or at least they acquiesce to being objectified. This is their path to power, and they embrace it. If they truly hated it like they claim, then they would rebel against it. I respect a woman who refuses to shave because she thinks a man should accept her for who she is naturally. If he's only attracted to a woman when she does a bunch of fake things, like shave, put on makeup, wear nice clothes, etc., wear perfume, then he's not really attracted to her. He's attracted to a fantasy, a delusion. If men are really attracted to women, then they should learn to be attracted to women as they naturally are. But women don't actually care about that, which shows that their decrying of being objectified is total hypocrisy and bullshit. The only women who have a rightful claim to say that men objectify women, and that it's a bad thing, and that men shouldn't do it, and that women don't want men to objectify them anymore, are the women who don't shave their legs or underarms, don't wear makeup, don't use perfume, don't use scented shampoo, don't wear high heels, etc., etc., etc. Such women who avoid doing these things and hold themselves to the standard of being natural and not conforming to society's artificial beauty standards, such women are not hypocrites and cannot be called hypocrites. But all the rest who complain about objectification are liars or idiots and should be ignored or ridiculed. In closing, I will just add an addendum saying that I do not have a body hair fetish. I can find women of all kinds attractive, just like how I can find the feet of a woman who has beautiful feet attractive, but that doesn't mean I have a foot fetish. There are attractive feet and ugly feet. There are women who have beautiful body hair and other women who have ugly body hair. There are people with eyes that are a beautiful color and people with eyes that are an ugly color. I find certain women who shave attractive, and I find certain women who don't shave attractive. It all depends on the particular woman. My standards are aesthetic, not fetishistic. This has been RedShift. I hope this video stimulated thought, and I encourage you to let loose in the uncensored comment section below. Peace.